Hello, dear listeners of the Career Mindset Podcast. I'm so excited to be with you today as we begin a new chapter together. Before we start, I really want to take this moment for an announcement. My dear co-host Christina, and Christina, I really hope you're listening. So, who has been a wonderful part of this podcast since the very first day we started this podcast episode, has made this the decision to step away for personal reasons. So, I want to take this moment to express my deep gratitude of her contributions, her energy, and all these incredible stories and times we share together. Christina, I wish you all the best in your new endeavors in the future. Keep shining brightly. And of course, you know that you're welcome in the Career Mindset Podcast anytime to come and record another episode together in the future. But here's the thrilling part. The Career Mindset Podcast isn't going anywhere. In fact, it's only getting started. So I'm more committed than ever to bring you inspiring stories and insights from everyday leaders sharing these diverse and unique paths to success. The title remains the same, of course, the Career Mindset Podcast, because the mission is always the same: to explore the connection between personal and professional lives, talking about topics such as diversity, equity, and inclusion, authenticity, and of course, leadership. With a new energy and a new passion and more curiosity than ever, I'm thrilled to lead the way on this journey. So get ready for more exciting episodes, engaging interviews, and a deeper dive into the world of career development and personal growth. Thank you for joining me today, and thank you for being a part of the Career Mindset Podcast community. I can't wait to share this new adventure with you. Let's dive in. And speaking of new beginnings, I have got a fantastic guest with me today to relaunch this new episode. Her journey is a proof to the power of transformation, resilience, and the growth mindset. My guest today has an incredible story to share, and I'm super excited. She's a true embodiment of the leader we explore on this show. So, without further ado, let's dive into this inspiring conversation and meet my first solo guest of the Career Mindset Podcast, Dragana Spica. Dragana, welcome. Thank you so much for being here today. How are you?
Hi, Fenya. Thank you so much for inviting me. I'm very, very happy to be in this episode and share my story and share this episode with you as well.
Thank you so much. Would you like to start the very first episode of the Career Mindset Podcast by sharing your story and answering this first question? Who are you?
Yes, so my name is Dragana Spica, as you said, and I'm a rapid transformational therapist and hypnotherapist. But I wasn't always doing what I do today. I was working in investment banking for 10 years. And actually, the way I became a therapist and hypnotherapist was I was trying to help myself overcome my own challenges. In a career, I was challenged with low self-esteem and imposter syndrome. And in the same time, I was going through a divorce, which left me with even lower self-esteem. So in order to help myself feel better, I qualified as a therapist and hypnotherapist. Wow. And today, this is my career. I've changed careers, and today I help my clients do the same, overcome their career challenges and also their relationship challenges. And today, I'm very happy about what I do. I'm very excited about what I do. I love seeing people blossom and just march into the new version of themselves, leaving behind all those challenges and doubts and fears. And my clients today are investment bankers, professional athletes, government officials, models, actors, and I work online and also in person. And I work with groups as well
Wow.
as individuals.
What an inspiring story. That's amazing. I really admire the power that you found being in your lowest state to start growing by investing yourself, like a new course, new education, and you found out all the tools you needed to grow up and get out of this dark phase of your life. That's fantastic. And thank you so much for sharing that. And I'd like to share another, I mean, this is already an inspiring story, but do you have another inspiring success story where rapid transformational therapy played an important role in helping someone achieve their career goals? And what was that transformational moment that made this story stand out?
Yes, I have a lot of success stories, which I'm very happy about, my clients' success stories. So I would like to share one now.
Mm-hmm.
So I had a client, let's call her Jane. She was not called, that was not her real name. Let's
Of
call her
course.
Jane. And Jane came to me and said her job was basically on a daily basis, she had to speak in front of a big audience, a group of people, and sometimes up to 50 people, including the executives of the company she worked with and executives of the client company she worked for. So speaking in public was something she had to do on a daily basis. And she was very uncomfortable doing it. She actually was terrified of doing it. Every time she would have to speak in front of an audience in public, she said the day before she couldn't sleep. She really had an anxiety attack every time she had to speak in front of a big audience. And she came to me and she asked, okay, I want to get rid of this. So we did a session. In a session, we found out that we went back to a memory from her childhood where her parents were lovely parents, but they were really protective, overly protective of her. And every time she would have to choose something for herself, a toy, or choose where to go or where to celebrate her birthday, they would say, no, we will choose it for you. Don't make a wrong choice. We will do it for you. And she even went back to a memory where she wanted to choose a university she wanted to go to. So her parents, wanting to help, wanted to choose for her, said, well, we will advise you, let us choose for you. So in her childhood, she got this belief that she is not able to make the right choices. And also when she speaks, she might make a mistake. So she got this belief that speaking might get her to make mistakes. And she kept this belief all those years, even in her adult life. And this is why she was terrified of basically speaking up. And we went and changed it. And after we finished our sessions, she had then, of course, another opportunity to speak in front of a big audience. And she wrote me back and she said, this was amazing. Even my boss congratulated me on how well I managed this meeting. And she said he never did that. And she worked in that company for a long time. And she also said, I got some other colleagues and participants to tell me how well I managed that meeting, and I felt really comfortable. She told me she felt really comfortable and at ease, which never happened before.
Wow.
So I was very, very happy with her achievement.
I mean, I'm very happy listening to this amazing story. And again, we can see here the power of those limiting beliefs and all of these beliefs that we create in a very young age and how they can affect our life in this present moment, in our older life. What about the skills of resilience and adaptability? I mean, in this world of careers that we both are, and the personal development as well, resilience and adaptability are critical skills. How does rapid transformational therapy and hypnotherapy can help individuals develop those skills? And again, if you can share another example of any of your clients who has I don't know, experienced this transformation.
Yes, and those are very important skills, as you say, because even if you look at the nature, it's not the strongest or the fastest that survive of the species. It's the most resilient ones.
Exactly.
So also I say to my clients, it is not what happens to you. You cannot control what happens to you, but you can control how you respond to it. So your strength is in believing that you can respond to any situation. But the problem is when we don't believe that we are capable of responding, this is where we don't feel really well in our shoes. So I had a client, let's call him John. That's not his real name again, but John came to me as an amazing client, and he came to me. He has a very senior role in the banking industry. And he came to me and said, I am successful. I earn a lot of money. And yet every day I go to the office feeling like I don't deserve it and I can lose it at any point. He said, I'm just waiting for a moment for a bad event to happen and I see myself collapsing. So this is him believing that bad things are about to happen and he is not strong enough to deal with them. Wow. So what happened was we did a session, we went back to some memories again from his childhood where there were several things happening in his childhood that contributed to the way he felt about himself. One thing was that he skipped a class. He was 6 years old and his mom thought it would be a good idea to skip a class because he was very smart, to go and go to a class with 7-year-olds. So basically, he found himself all of a sudden with people who were bigger than him, knew more because they had 1 year more of schooling. And he felt really small. He felt like he knew less than those people, and he felt like he was less capable than those people around him. So he developed this belief that, well, I am not as strong as everyone else. I'm not as smart as everyone else, as these people in my environment, because that was his environment. That was his world in his child's eyes. And another thing happened, he moved, actually in the same time, he moved countries. So he found himself again in an environment that is unfamiliar, where he felt really small and he felt everything is new and everything is too big. And he felt like he can't manage all those things happening in the same time, all those changes, which is really normal because he was just a child. And his parents were really busy with, their own day-to-day and working. So he found himself having to deal with all these things by himself, which of course he couldn't because he was just a child. So he developed the belief, I'm too small, I'm smaller than anyone else, I know less than anyone else, I'm less skilled than anyone else. So the way our brain works, we develop these beliefs in our childhood, but they stay with us. We still feel like that child felt. Even though he now had a success, he still felt the way that child felt because he still had the belief in his subconscious mind that he is less capable, that he is the smaller, that he is less strong, that he's weaker than his surrounding. And for that reason, he was always on alert. His system, his body, his mind was on alert because he had to always expect a situation because he's not strong enough, the situation where he would have to defend himself. So we went and changed it. And later on, he told me that he felt much more confident. He went to his boss, big boss, and he said, okay, I feel more confident now. I want to take on more responsibility. He said, I spoke more confidently in those meetings with my boss. I haven't done that before. So he really felt more confident in his own skin, and he really understood. He told me it really clicked in our session. It really clicked for him that it is not the situation, it is how he responds to it. So that's another very successful story. And again, I'm very happy for his success.
Fantastic, amazing story. And again, I'm always so surprised about the power of all these beliefs that we create. And we have no idea that all these old beliefs are still here today in our lives, in our minds. And it's like they create our life. And I'd like to stand more here on these beliefs because I understand that Rapid Transformational Therapy works mostly with those beliefs, right? And so the behaviors. I'd like to ask you if you can share the process, how this rapid transformational therapy helps an individual to change their limiting beliefs with the specific steps, and if you can share some techniques, how you work on that in order to make this change on the mindset of an individual.
Yes. So what rapid transformational therapy does is understands the root cause, identifies it, we make sure the client really understands it, and we change it. And we help the person adopt what they want, the feeling, the response, the behavior, the belief that they want, instead of the old one, which was limiting them. So, as you said nicely, throughout our life, in most cases in our childhood, very early childhood, we adopt certain beliefs about ourselves, our capabilities, what we deserve, what we don't deserve, what is available to us, not available to us. And we also develop beliefs about the world. And these beliefs are developed based on the experiences we have and relationships we have with people who are taking care of us in our childhood. So we lock those beliefs get locked in our subconscious mind, and they stay with us. We grow up, we have our careers, we have our lovers and new families, and we still have those beliefs that we have developed in our childhood. So what RTT does, Rapid Transformational Therapy does brilliantly, is understand what is this belief. There's always some negative belief that is the root cause of any discomfort, any pain, any limitation. Like for those two clients that I was telling you about, for one, the presenting issue was, well, I can't speak in public freely. I'm terrified.
Yeah.
For the other person, the everyday experience in the office was just so uncomfortable, a lot of anxiety on a daily basis, because the person didn't believe that they deserve, and they didn't believe they can cope with everything that was happening around them. So there was an underlying belief. So what RTT does is finds the reason why you feel this way. What is it? Goes straight to the root cause and helps a person reshape that belief and adopt a new positive belief. So it's all science-based. And it's very efficient because we go straight to the root cause. And when you deal with the root cause, then the symptoms disappear.
Fantastic.
Right?
And what way do you use to make these changes? Like breathing, meditation, how that's hypnotherapy works?
Yeah, in our session, what we do is, well, basically the method I'm using is called Rapid Transformational Therapy. And the way we do this is we get a person into hypnosis. And hypnosis is just a relaxed state. I know a lot of people are thinking, okay, someone can make you fall in love with a chandelier, or give me my, I will give you my bank account details if you hypnotize me, and so on, which is absolutely not true. And it's a valid point, because people, watch movies, people watch those shows where also things happen because it's a show, of course. But what hypnosis is just a relaxed state. And I tell people, you should not be afraid. I cannot make you do anything you don't want to do. If that was the case, all the hypnotherapists, or maybe some of them who have the aspiration to, be rich and famous overnight, they would already be, rich, retired in Bahamas, because they would just easily get all the secrets and all the people's bank accounts. And that is not the case. So no one can make you do or say or feel something you don't want. The hypnosis, what it really is a relaxed state. Because what happens is, what we do in basically the core of this technique is that we have our brain, and 5% of our brain is our conscious mind, and 95 is the subconscious. And all this raw data, all these beliefs that we are adopting throughout our life that I was telling you about, they are stored in our subconscious mind. And we can access them, we can access that database and understand what is this belief that is blocking you. We can do that once we get into a relaxed state.
Okay.
So our brain goes through different brain waves during the day, depending on how active we are. So now we're very active. We're in a beta brainwave. We're very active. Our logic is very active. We are analyzing everything. And we cannot access the raw data subconscious mind when we are talking and very active now. But if we go into this relaxed state, which is basically very familiar to our body. It's the state we are in every day. It's the state that we are in when we are waking up in the morning, for example.
Okay, yes.
You know, when you're between being fully asleep, but you're not yet fully
Mm.
awake, those few minutes.
Yes.
That is the state. You're very
Okay.
relaxed and your subconscious is accessible. So we go into that state in order to be able to access everything that is in the subconscious mind, understand it, and also change it easily using, again, the pure science, using the knowledge on how the brain works. So the actual technique is using hypnotherapy in order to access the subconscious mind. And then we use the full method is rapid transformational therapy, which basically uses the elements of neurolinguistic programming, neuroscience, psychotherapy, and also hypnotherapy, as I mentioned, because we work with our subconscious.
Wow, so fascinating. I mean, I can admit that I've done this process with you, Dragana, and I found it so interesting, so helpful. And yeah, just guys, please try this out if you haven't done this yet. And I'd like to stay again on this power of the mind and the power of the beliefs, because I was thinking before you shared this story of your client that even he had proofs of success in his current life. However, the power of his limiting beliefs from the past this power is much bigger than the proofs we have today of our successes, and still they can control somehow our life. I'd like to ask you, based on that, how we can create these change, how we can create tangible and lasting changes through a rapid transformational therapy. I mean, and how we can be sure that we're not gonna have the same limiting beliefs in the future.
Well, working with rapid transformational therapy, it does exactly that. It gives us rapid and lasting changes because it works, as I said, with the actual root cause.
Okay.
So using this method, as I said, we understand the root cause, we work with the root cause, and that is why it is so efficient. It tackles the actual root cause. And also what happens is once we do our session, the last part of the session is called the transformation. So this is where I'm helping client adopt new positive beliefs, new ways of responding and feeling in certain situations. This is what a client told me she wants, basically. And this last part is recorded, is just my voice. And I send that to a client, this recording of usually 10-15 minutes. And a client listens to that recording every single day. This is personalized, tailor-made for every client. So what this does is reprogramming the mind. Because our mind learns by repetition. We have been repeating certain things, certain thoughts, certain behaviors for a long time in the past, and it became a habit of reacting, a habit of thinking, a habit of feeling. And what we do with this recording is another kind of addition to the whole therapy, is that this recording is listened to every day by the client for at least, I recommend, 4 weeks.
Okay.
So between 21 and 28 days, every day, because this is how we reprogram our mind. This is a personalized hypnosis that the client listens to every day, and it helps the brain adopt a new belief. So it's scientifically proven, it takes between 21 and 28 days for a brain to adopt a new habit. So this is literally a reprogramming and installing a new code, right, in our subconscious mind. And also, what is amazing is that a client can use this recording for the rest of their life. I have clients who tell me 8 months after we did the session, tell me, I still listen to the recording because it helps me every day. It helps me basically put my mind in the right place. It helps me uplift my spirit, my mind, and adopt the attitude that I want to adopt every day, and reminds me of what I want to believe in. So this is a powerful tool that person has. and can use for the rest of their life.
Fantastic. It's like you use these 21 to 28 days. That's the common period of time we need, our minds needs to transform and change and adapt new habits, new thoughts, right, and new beliefs.
Correct.
Okay, fantastic. And by listening to this guided meditation, we somehow send the message to the subconscious. Is that correct?
Correct.
Fantastic.
So we've been repeating negative things, negative thoughts, and negative beliefs in the past. And they were shaping our reality. And now we are repeating a positive story, a story that we want. And then that story is taking us to the life that we actually want. So this is the reprogramming.
Wow. Fantastic method. And one last question. I couldn't help but ask about this huge topic, imposter syndrome, right? Everyone is struggling with this thing, imposter syndrome, and self-doubt as well. It's the same for me. And so I'd like to ask you if you want to share now the story you have with another client, maybe, who experienced something like that, and how rapid transformational therapy helped them to overcome these challenges, and if there was any breakthrough through this experience.
Yes, of course. So as you said previously, no matter how much money a person has, or how successful it is, or how they are, or how senior they are in a company, they can have an imposter syndrome despite of all the successes. Because what happens is, if we truly believe that we don't deserve, no amount of money, success, big house, big cars, more houses will not fill in the hole, the gap, the emptiness that we are feeling inside of us. That's emptiness that is saying, I'm not worthy. So we need to address that emptiness inside of us. That is an imposter syndrome. And often it happens that people then think, okay, I have all this wealth. Maybe I need more wealth. And then I will feel worthy finally. And then they go and get it. And then still for a split of a second, they maybe feel like, oh, great. And then they fall right back into feeling, because this hole is still there. This emptiness is still there. So we need to actually deal with the actual root cause, with the inner feeling of why are we feeling inside of us, deep inside of us, not worthy. So again, I had another client. She's a model, and she gets international contracts and clients. And yet, let's call her Anna. She's not called Anna. Let's call her Anna. So Anna came to me and said, I get good things in my life. And I constantly feel like I don't deserve them. I feel like, ooh, why is this happening? It must have been a mistake. I don't deserve these good things and good contracts and, opportunities and people, being nice to me. And we did a session, and in her session, we went back to, again, memories from her childhood. And her parents left her when she was just a baby, left her to be raised by cousins because they went to work in another country. And she, in her childhood, developed this belief. She felt abandoned. And she developed this belief that, well, if my own parents just left me and something else was more important to them than their own daughter, I must not be worthy. I must not be worthy of their time, of their energy. And if I'm not worthy to my own parents, it must be that I'm just not worthy, not good enough. So she kept that belief throughout her life. And now she's an adult person and she feels the same. Good things are coming her way and she feels, well, I must not deserve this. I just feel not deserving. No matter what was happening on the outside in her life, deep inside, she always felt unworthy and not good enough, not deserving of love, success, or good things happening to her. And we, of course, went and changed it. And she understood that, all this time, I was basically, it was this old belief from my childhood that was making me feel this way. And I thought in the childhood, I thought it was my fault, because a child will always think it's their fault, because a child is always looking at their parents and adults like their role models. So the child will always think there must be something wrong with me. So she went, you know, and into her adult life thinking, well, there must be something wrong with me. I'm not worthy, and all these things are not available to me. So it was a big realization. And again, she felt much better. And she understood that, yes, she is worthy and things are available to her. And her parents were wrong not to give her love and attention, and she did nothing wrong. And that realization was really, really powerful for her.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, imagine this realization is life-changing. And first of all, thank you for helping all those people. And secondly, I'd like to thank you for sharing all these powerful stories, because it's so important to realize that we see people out there, like everyday people, everyday leaders, and we may make assumptions very easily by how they look like, and see if they own an expensive car, if, I don't know, if they have a great job role, and, you know, start making assumptions for them and for their life. However, we have no idea what's going on inside of people. And it's very powerful to realize that we're not alone here. There are so many people out there experiencing similar things, similar thoughts, as we may do the same, right? So thank you so much for that. And just to close this episode, I'd like you to share any comments or anything that you want to share to our audience.
Yeah, just maybe linking to what you have just said. So one thing is feeling bad, and then what I see people do, and I do as well. I did much more in the past. I'm evolving a lot, of course, with all this knowledge that I have. You feel bad, and then you start feeling bad because you feel bad. So you add additional pressure. Because, as you rightly said, you're looking at other people who look so put together on their Instagram profile, selfies, filtered pictures from their beautiful dinner, eating beautiful steak on a beautiful beach with their beautiful children who are always very obeying and nice and, you know, put together, nicely dressed. And then we compare ourselves to those windows, you know, kind of of people's lives. That's not the real life. And then we compare ourselves and we see ourselves being inferior, and also we see ourselves feeling bad. So we say, well, look, not only that I feel inferior because they're so perfect and I feel bad with myself, but look how they feel amazing. They feel amazing. Everyone else feels great about their life. Me, I look at me. So this is an additional layer. So feeling bad and then feeling bad because we're feeling bad. So it's an additional layer of pressure and stress that we put on ourselves. So I would really, and I've noticed in the past how much I was doing it. And I was actually shocked when you start noticing, just start, this is the key, start being present in your life. Start being present in life, which means stop and observe. How do you feel? What did you just say to yourself? When I started doing that, I was shocked by the amount of negative things that I would say to myself about my body, about my, you know, performance somewhere, about what I've just said. It's shocking. It's shocking. So start being present in your life, observe, and just question, oh, but why did I just say this? Is that really true? Do I really think this? It's really hurtful. And if it's hurtful and if it makes you feel sad, stop doing it. Stop saying it. So first feel very present in your life. Start observing all those patterns and change all those patterns that are hurtful, that are not helping you and that are blocking you.
Very interesting, and so important to be in the present moment and be mindful. Thank you for reminding us all these important things. Thank you for sharing the stories of your clients. Thank you for giving us all these new lessons and knowledge. I really enjoyed this episode with you. I hope you enjoyed it too. And see you in the next episode. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Fenya. Thank you, everyone.
Bye.
Sending you kisses. Bye.